Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. So let's solve this question here. It says, which factor is responsible for DNA stability? Option A, DNA contain phosphate group. Option B, DNA contain deoxyribose sugar. Option C, none of the above. And option D, both B and C. So let us understand the question here. It says, which factor is responsible for DNA stability? So we have to look for the option which gives the detail about the factor which is responsible for the stability of the DNA. Now, when we talk about DNA, what is DNA? That is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid. That we all know, right? Nucleic acid. Now, when we talk about RNA, it is ribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid. So your answer for the question is there in these names itself. Okay. Now, when we say deoxyribonucleic acid, we are telling that there is lack of one particular oxygen in this particular ribose sugar of DNA. And whereas ribonucleic acid, it does not, compared to, or you can say when you compare it with DNA, it consists of an extra hydroxyl group, or you can say oxygen is present. One extra oxygen is present compared to DNA. Now let us see here. So at the 2' carbon here, so this is the 2' carbon, we are talking about the deoxyribose, which is present in what? Which is present in DNA. So this is a pentose sugar, like 5 carbon sugar, which consists of, which is nothing but deoxyribose sugar. Why? Because at the 2' end, you can say 2' carbon, there is lack of one oxygen. But if you see RNA at the same position, it will be having OH group. That means there is presence of an oxygen there, right? And because of that, so because of the presence of OH group at the 2' carbon, RNA becomes more reactive. RNA is more reactive and less stable. Less stable. Whereas DNA, as I told you, DNA, because at the 2' carbon, it lacks the oxygen, only hydrogen is present. So it is less reactive. It is less reactive and more stable compared to RNA. More stable. Okay. So that is very important point to be, like you have to remember it, because that is the reason why DNA is the genetic material, not the RNA in case of all the eukaryotes. Okay. So let us see. Option A says DNA contains phosphate group. So when we say phosphate groups are present in DNA as well as RNA. So that does not decide whether RNA is strong or DNA is strong, because the backbone of RNA and DNA is made up of sugar phosphate. And of course, phosphate is the major component which is present in both, right? And that does not decide which is strong or which is stable. Hence, it is ruled out. Option B says contain deoxyribose sugar. So that is DNA contain deoxyribose sugar, which makes it stronger than the RNA. Hence, this is absolutely right as we have discussed here. Option C says none of the above, which is incorrect. Option D says both B and C, which is again incorrect because only B is the correct answer. So let us conclude the answer. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is option B. It is DNA contain deoxyribose sugar, and that is one of the factors which makes it very stable compared to RNA. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.